All right, guys. So it's another Tuesday call. We have another amazing speaker for all of you guys tonight. And I hope that you guys are getting as much out of these calls as I am. I truly am taking notes and applying the stuff that I'm hearing from each of the leaders that I know that I need to apply into my team. And I hope you are as well. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Mike Kozlowski, and I started these trainings that Stuck to Unstuck series for my team because I knew that I had been stuck several times in my business and that they were probably sick of hearing my story and would get so much more out of leaders who are upcoming from 2007, 2018. And when I asked in the roundtable, I had someone comment and they brought up Mackenzie and they said, this girl is crushing it. So I went on Facebook, I stalked her a little bit and I was like, oh my gosh, this girl has amazing content. She's being so open and real, and her stats are showing that she is an upcoming leader. I know sometimes we can get intimidated when we hear crazy stats from people, and I know for me personally, I get really inspired when I see these people on the rise. So Mackenzie is a lifetime 2-star diamond. Okay, I feel like a lot of people get stuck at 1-star diamond, so make sure you listen to this, okay? She's a lifetime 2-star diamond. She's about 2 emeralds away from 3-star diamond, which is really inspiring. So I would be very surprised if she's not 5-star within the next couple months. She's a team leader on the leadership ladder. She's had 44 months in a row of Success Club. She was a 2019 Premier Coach. You guys, that's a huge accomplishment. And she is a Success Club 10 All-Star Legend. So what that means is that she's helped at least 5 people get started on their health journey the last 2 years in a row. So that's 24 months. And, like I said, when I was looking through her content, I just knew that she would be so relatable to so many of you guys because she's sharing the real stuff. So Mackenzie, I am going to toss it over to you.
Okay. Hi. Thank you, first of all, for having me. And she's so right. Like when you hear stats besides someone's name, it's just truly basically them kind of learning how they got out of their own way and they paid this forward. And I'm going to talk to you guys about that. So this is just really kind of in a way surreal for me because I never in the last 2 years of my business would have pictured me sitting here about to deliver this content to you guys. And hopefully, like my prayer is that you hear something that helps you get out of your own way, that helps you take your business to the next level. That's just truly all I want for you. But it is so surreal to sit here and to be able to do this with you. So I want to give you a little bit of backstory. I don't want to go into it too much because like she said, if you go to my social media, you'll totally get an idea of my story. But I became a coach like right out of college. And mainly it was because I had started a fitness program. I finally got into a group after my coach begged me and begged me and begged me. And I quit 1,000 times before that. She happens to be my best friend. So she wouldn't leave me alone. And I was really getting jealous of all of the amazing results she was seeing. So I got into a group with her finally, and that was really what the game changer was for me because I'd done Beachbody programs before, but I'd never had the community support. And a big part of my story is truly like when I got my foot in the door, I was opened up to this like new magical world of like positivity and joy and like authenticity. And I was a bartender at the time, coming out of some of the toughest years of my life. And I felt like I was completely drained and all of that joy just really hit something in me. So never underestimate like the power of your energy and just the community that you're creating, because it was a huge reason why I wanted to then start coaching, which I fought for a long time as well. But something that I forget to mention and something that you guys might hear from this and then maybe do yourself is she was very smart in asking me, and I'm not even sure if she thought that this would maybe give me confidence to then coach, but I had results from a 3-week program and I was really on the fence about doing it. I was really worried about what people were going to think of me. I hadn't had like my full transformation yet, so I wasn't thinking I was going to inspire anyone. And I was truly coming out of like binge drinking, really just dependent on alcohol and drugs, terrible mental state, you name it, I was a mess. And I kept telling myself it was a phase. But I constantly say like Beachbody changed, like saved my life. You know, it didn't just change my life, it saved my life because I really can't imagine the life that I would have gone on to lead. So she asked to share my results. And when she did that, you know, it wasn't on my social media. So her doing it gave me a way to kind of be like, oh, okay, like, maybe this isn't so bad. Maybe I could inspire someone. Maybe I could help someone change a life. And that's really what got me in the door. I wanted to pay this opportunity forward to other girls who were stuck like I was. So that, her just doing that small act of believing in me before I was ready to believe in myself really helped me get my foot in the door. And then that helped me kind of dream my own dreams. So kind of fast forward, coaching gave me a ton of confidence, and it really did just help me kind of go on a new path. And I then moved to Jacksonville, Florida. And I always say I would have never had the confidence to do that because I randomly just came here. She lived here, my best friend, Natalie Bailey, and my coach. So I was like, well, I'm just going to go down there and hang out with her and live. And I had nothing keeping me in West Virginia, which is where I was from. And I used coaching to kind of basically keep me comfortable for the first month that I was here until I found another bartending job. And once I was here, I started to realize, wait a minute, I can't go home to see my family. I then met my boyfriend who I was just, crazy about. And I had all this limited time to see him. And I started to feel that whole, I don't like not being in control of my time. And it really started to hit me when I didn't get to go home for a holiday. And there I was with this just disappointed feeling in my stomach, hey, you want this life, so why are you the one keeping yourself from getting it? You have the tools. How often do you guys just feel that disappointment of I have all the tools, I have everything I need, I have this business which can help my dreams come true, it's helped a bajillion other people's dreams come true, so what's wrong with me? And I really had to take a hard look in the mirror because I was very naive to the work that it requires. I was very naive to the self-growth and self-reflection that I was going to have to go through. And I just kind of drew a line in the sand. So I left my bartending job a couple months later, totally wasn't ready, totally just jumped and built my wings on the way down, which I highly recommend because that's really how you grow in this business. You gotta, don't set the goal when you feel like you can reach it. Set the goal when you feel like you have no other choice but to reach it. And so that's the way I really approached it. And while that first year of being full-time felt impossible, it felt impossible. I was doing everything I could to get by. I was scrambling. I felt like I was failing every single day. I was going through a huge transition in my personal life as well. I had just moved in with my boyfriend who has a son, and I was trying to navigate how to, have that role of bonus mom and just figure out a lot of stuff. And so it was tough, but as I look back, I'm so thankful for it. And I'll get to that in a second. So then the end of 2017 rolls around, which was the end of the first year of me being a full-time coach. And I had kept a diamond rank for most of that year. I always hit Success Club. But I was stuck at diamond. I just could not get past it. And it was because I was not taking ownership of my business. So there was this little elephant in the room that I didn't want to deal with, which was an Emerald coach who was clearly no longer working the business, who was the only person keeping me diamond. And one day, guess what? She had some inactives. I had no way to inspire her back to Emerald because she was clearly not working the business. So I lost my diamond rank at the worst possible time at the end of 2017, December of 2017, as our team was rallying to be an elite team. And I felt like crap. I felt like I was a total failure. It was another moment where I looked in the mirror what are you doing? And so I scrambled back to diamond, literally did everything in my power to get back to diamond and advanced an Emerald, but that Emerald quit and the other Emerald quit. So here I was at the beginning of 2018, literally barely, I basically say I was an Emerald because I didn't really have working coaches. I didn't really have an organization that was stable. So I had to kind of just stop and ask myself, what do I need to do right now? Because I felt like I had so far to go. I was like, how am I going to get there? How am I going to pull myself out of this hole? What's wrong with me, And so 80-day obsession came about. And guys, that program was so intimidating. We're talking to a girl who'd only ever committed to a program or like given up alcohol or committed to a program like one other time in her life. I loved drinking, like going out and like I was such a foodie. So the idea of our workouts, because I honestly am working on this, but I don't love working out. I just like the way working out makes me feel. So that was a total challenge for me. And I looked at that opportunity not as a way to just get results or, do what they say, which is to be a product of the product. I looked at 80 Day Obsession as a way for me to build myself back up, as a way for me to make promises to myself and then keep them. Hey, Mackenzie, if you say you're going to do this, you better do it. And if you do it, that means that you can do hard things in other areas of your life too. So if I could do that hard thing, I could then do the hard thing of building my business back up and do the hard thing of overcoming debilitating anxiety and do the hard thing of like growing in my relationship and figuring out how to go through that transition. So really, guys, like that's why what we do is so cool, because these programs get us results, but they help us grow as people. So I had to learn how to keep promises with myself again. And that's really how I learned what that phrase, get out of your own way, means, because I was the only person standing in my way. And you are the only person standing in your way. And that's kind of like hard to hear sometimes because we want to blame the phase of life that we're in or time or, our resources or whatever, or maybe I don't know. There's so many things that we could blame as to why we're not where we want to be. But I really had to look at myself and say, you are the reason that you are not, at the level that you want to be at, that you're not through this storm. So really all of those stats, and I broke down I did like a brain dump. I was like, how do I want to deliver everything on this call? So I did a brain dump of everything that I feel like I've learned. And I broke it down in a couple different categories to give you guys an idea: mindset, social media, leading a team, daily actions, and learning how to trust your higher power. So I still have a long way to go. I truly don't want you guys to sit here and think, well, no, I do not have it figured out. And you should always feel that way. You should never, ever feel like you've learned everything, that you no longer have anything to learn, that you're done growing, or you're too good to learn, or you're too successful to be coached. Ask for tough love. Ask for the truth. Like, ask to be coached. Cry it out. Like, figure it out. When my coach recognized me for 2-star, I will never forget. It had nothing to do with, the pretty graphic. The words that she said were, you guys have no idea how many times this girl's cried in my living room. This girl's cried on the phone with me. And it's because she was, number one, brave enough to help me get through those tough things. And I was brave enough to ask for help, to be willing to be coached. So please be willing to be coached no matter what. All right. So we're going to roll into mindset here. Really, we're going to start there. So back to kind of like that year and what that was like and how I worked through that. It wasn't just 80 Day Obsession. It's not like it was like, oh, I committed to a program, I'm seeing awesome results, click. Because I also relied on that a lot too. Like, I was always showing up on social media, getting results, but guess what? I was still so messed up in here. And I tried to tune all that out because I wanted to make it look like I had everything going on okay on the outside. But in reality, it wasn't really like that. So I want you guys to write this down, because this is like a specific part of what to take away from growing in your mindset, is figure out your specific, very specific limiting stories that are playing in your head. Not like, I'm not confident, or, I don't have social media followers or something, like not anything broad, but something really specific. So for me, it was like, instead of saying like, well, I have anxiety, I was telling myself every day, you have experienced an anxiety attack, so you'll never be able to lead a team to the level that you want to lead them. And, you get too anxious sometimes during the day, so you're never going to be able to have a successful business. Those were like, that's an example of a limiting story. And those play on autoplay. Like, they're probably playing and you don't even realize it. So that's why it's like, get specific and write those down. Understand the specific demon and monster that you are fighting. Don't try to just find a good podcast and find a good book, because guess what? Our mindset growth is 24 hours, a day, 365. Well, when you're sleeping, but guys, it is every minute of the waking day that you are working on changing that. So find those stories and know what to look for. So when they pop up in your head, you're ready to fight back and you're not just, settling for whatever is going on up there, because you can change it. Second, get over the letdowns quick. Don't wallow, because guess what? Everything that happens to you in this business is a lesson. Like I said, those were some of the hardest years of my business and of my life, but I love them. I look back and I'm like, those were the best years of my life. Those were what made me who I am today and are what are making me who I'm going to be in the future. I am so thankful for all the tears I cried and all the coaches who quit and all the people who canceled and all the drops in rank, because it's gotten me to where I need to be. So don't sweat the small stuff. Don't sweat the big stuff, because it's all going to turn into a positive. And be patient. Your journey of growth will look different than someone else's. I heard this on my Virtual Uplines podcast. It's a great podcast for your virtual upline. He said, network marketing is like a personal development assignment from the universe. Like, how true is that? Because everything we do is based on what's going on up here. The actions that we take, the words that we speak, the discipline that we have, everything relies on what's going on up here. So if you treat your business like that, you will move forward. But you can't judge where you are to where someone else is, because they might have started their business on a totally different mental level than you're at right now. So be patient in the way your business is growing, because it's on purpose. Everything that you're going through is on purpose. And then enjoy the process. Always have fun. I made it a goal at the beginning of last year. No matter what was happening in my business, I was going to have a blast. I was going to find joy every single day. I was going to do something to sit down with a smile on my face, no matter what, because I didn't become a coach to be stressed. I didn't become a coach to be worried about other people's opinions or freak out if my invite was right or freak out if my social media post was perfect. I became a coach because I wanted to empower others to live awesome lives. And if I'm not living an awesome life, then how can I expect them to want to live an awesome life with me? So it's something as simple as that. And finally, for this topic, please seek out growth outside of Beachbody. Such a game changer. I saw a little, it was I think it was Success of America or something. It's like a one-day event that was in Orlando, and they came in August, and Tony Robbins was going to be there, Gary Vaynerchuk, a guy from Shark Tank. But I just love Tony Robbins, and he's been on my YouTube constantly. Well, I saw it pop up right when I was freaking out about my finances. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to go to this wedding and I got to pay these bills and I'm having a bad month. And I was totally not feeling like I had any extra. And guess what? That ticket pops up and I'm like, I got to buy this. And at the time, I could have been I don't have it. It's not worth it. And I really want you guys, that was my scarcity story. That was my scarcity mindset of that I don't have it, when in reality I did. And investing in that one day thing made a huge difference in my business and in my life, which is the ultimate goal. I wanted to change my life to change my business. So I really recommend finding something that's going to speak to you and get to it. Really just break out of the Beachbody world a little bit, because guys, our Beachbody businesses are built off of our lives. So we have to work on our lives first for our businesses to then be a reflection of that. Okay. Next is showing up on social media. So this might sound silly, but guys, get a preset. Have some fun with it. Get a fun filter that you love. Enjoy your social media. Please don't look at it like it's this, just annoying thing that you have to do every day, because it's part of your business. Find the fun and the joy in it. Get a preset, because I really believe that it adds a bit of professionalism to your page. I have been told that, and they're $5 on Etsy. So find one that you love and use it. Plus, it cuts down editing time on your photos. So you're not sitting there oh, let me get this just right. Do I like this? Do I like this? Because then we're just over judging ourselves. So get a preset, stick it on it, post it. And also, I just recently watched this video called Building a Brand, Not a Business by Ashley Molstad on YouTube. Awesome. She really breaks down how to run your social media as a brand and create fans, not followers. And that's going to create a better vibe. But I always ask myself, like, what kind of feeling do I want to give people when they come to my page? Like, I want to make them feel a certain way. What is like the vibe that I want to give them and make them feel? And so it's not as much like, how do I get them to buy a challenge pack for me? Or how do I get them to become a coach with me? But how do I want to make them feel? Because people always remember the way you make them feel. Okay. The other thing that was big for me was putting a form in my bio. So I don't know if you guys have seen this or not, but this just really, I found that it was taking the pressure off of people to reach out to me. So like, have you ever noticed that like when you do a post and you're like, reach out or like message me or like comment, nothing happens. And maybe that was just me, but nothing ever happened because I feel like people probably don't think you're real. They're like, who is this girl like on my Instagram? I like her, but like, what is she doing? B, they might be intimidated by you, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because that's showing that you're living up to a certain stature, but also like they might just not know what to say. Like, hey, I want to lose weight. How scary of a conversation is that in the first place, right? Like it's such a vulnerable conversation to talk to someone about weight loss or emotional eating or wanting to start a business. So putting a form in your bio is going to take the pressure off of them for knowing what to say when they want to reach out to you. And it's already going to give you an idea of what their needs are when you go into the conversation. So instead of spending a ton of time like getting to know them, when they fill out the form, and you guys can go to my Instagram bio and basically just see what I have and get an idea of what I do, but I just learn about them. I learn about what their needs are, what their history is with this whole journey and process. That way, when I go into a conversation with them, I'm already aware of like the things that we're attacking and like what our main mission is. So that's been huge. And then also, your energy, guys, this is kind of going back to mindset, but your energy is truly everything. So you can't live double lives. Like how many of you are like, but I make the post, I do the power hour, like I send the invites, like I do the things, yet something isn't adding up. And that's because there's still something going on up here that's not putting a good energy out there. Like there's still something playing in your head that's keeping you from having full belief in what you're saying and what you're posting and everything. So I always think about this because this is just the best way for me to explain it. That have you ever noticed when you're on the phone with someone, you can tell if they're smiling, but you can't see them, right? But like if you're talking to that person, if they're smiling or not. That's how your social media works. Now you don't have to sit there like it doesn't really work like that, but it's just the point of like what your words are, like the words that you're speaking, the things that you're putting out there truly match what's going on in here. And that just goes back to like, that will come, like, it's not a happen overnight type of thing. It's a continuous process and it's still not over. And then also please unfollow other coaches. Okay, guys. It's one thing to go to coaches and get inspired. It's another thing when you go to coaches and you fall in a rabbit hole and you compare yourself. And you're like, oh my gosh, she said that so great. I can't talk. I don't even know how to invite to a challenge group like that. Wow, her life is so awesome. Oh my gosh. So I fell into this trap so bad. And my wonderful coach called me out on it because it was either that I was on social media early in the morning and seeing the girl on our team already having her workout in and starting her power hour. And I was like, I suck. Like I haven't done anything yet. And so I'm a failure, or like going to someone's page because I looked up to them. But in reality, I was like, man, like she has so many comments. I don't have that many comments. My posts suck, and that's doing nothing for us. You don't need to go get inspiration from other coaches because that's just taking away from your voice and your credibility. Spend a little time with yourself. Stop going to other pages and telling yourself that you're getting inspired when in reality, your mind is attaching itself to a story to just comfort your insecurity. Like if your insecurity is like, oh, like, I don't have great posts, then you're going to that page and your mind is going to immediately attach to a story and say, you don't have as many followers as her. You're probably not going to be as successful or something like that. So I don't know if you know this about our little brain here, but when you have that insecurity, your mind will attach itself to like any story to basically convince you that you're right. Like if you think that you're not good on social media, then you're going to go to those pages and your mind is going to find things to validate that story in your mind. So stay off those pages, because when you do that, you're taking away from finding your own credibility or your own voice, and you're just comparing. Okay. So that's like, it's kind of hard because you're like, oh, I love following her. She's like a celebrity in Beachbody. But guess what? Like, don't follow her. Just go and check out what she's doing later. Like, okay, don't make that part of your business hours. And finally, like when you stop worrying, this is very simple. When you stop worrying about what other people are going to think about you, you will know what to post. Like we constantly, I feel like, are like, I just don't know what to say. I don't know what my content should be. Your content's there. You're just worried about what someone's going to think. So let that go. And it's going to be easy. Like, I feel like I can't say enough some days. I'm like, do I post, it's like 1 a day, 2 a day. I'm supposed to skip a day sometimes, but I'm like, I just want them to have all this. Like I want to speak this out. I want to put this out there in the universe. So have fun with it, because you're not worried about what someone's going to think. Now, that doesn't mean that never happens to me and that I don't ever worry about that and that I don't ever freak out about that. But I'm aware that that's something that can bring me down. So I work on it constantly. Okay. So we're going to move on to leading your team. So like in 2018, I didn't really have a team at the start of 2018. I went in and out with coaches who, would like come in and I'd be so excited for them. I was like that coach that was just so excited over a new coach. It was almost like I couldn't believe they wanted to coach with me. So I was just like stoked. And that was me basically viewing myself like I wasn't a very good leader, because I was shocked that someone wanted to join my team. So watch out for that. And so I always wanted it for them. Like I was so happy that they were here, and I was so happy about this business. I mean, it had changed my life. Like I wasn't bartending anymore. I was like growing every day. I was just on fire about this business. And then these people come in and I'm like so on fire for them and I'm excited. And I realized I can't want it for them and I can't try to convince them. So our job in inspiring people to coach is giving them information, inspiring them based on what we're doing. Never like dumb your journey down or dumb your dreams down, or like lessen who you are as a leader and who you are as a coach to try to meet somebody else where they are. Now, there's a way to mentor them where they are, but don't like put yourself down because they don't want it too. You can't want it for them. And I really had to learn that like, it's not my job to dream the dreams for them. It's my job to believe in them when they dream for themselves, when they set goals for themselves. I'm going to keep dreaming big and setting big goals and doing big things and, just everything that I possibly can. And if they want to come with me, great. But they have to set goals for themselves. They have to want the big dreams. But the only way to inspire them is by doing that first. But guys, we can't want that for them. We can't make them want the things that we want. So that just goes along with not dragging people around, going off of what they're doing, not what they're saying. If your coaches are telling you they're sending in, but they're doing a power every day, they're posting every day, they're reading personal development every day, they're working out and they're drinking their shake, but they're not in Success Club, they're not doing it. There's just no way. There's no way they're actually taking action. And if they truly, I'll ask them, okay, I'll get on a call with you when you track everything you do for the next 7 days and you show that to me. And if nothing's changed and you don't feel any shift, in momentum, then we're going to figure this out. We're going to, we'll get on and we're going to break this down. But go by what they're doing, not what they're saying. And I have to credit my coach, Natalie, for that, because I was so guilty of, well, they said that they really want to be diamond. And they said that they really want to Success Club. But if they don't do it, they don't do it. No one ever had to say, Mackenzie, hit Success Club. I mean, they did, but it was like, I knew that was important. I knew that was part of building my business, and I knew I was going to make it happen. Same thing with Diamond. Same thing, you know, as I've grown in in my organization. And then inviting to coaching. So I used to not do this. This is why I didn't have a team. And if you're sitting here wanting to build an income, you will not do that off of Success Club points. I mean, maybe if you want to try to hit 200 and 300 Success Club points a month, I don't want to do that personally. So I was, first of all, terrified to invite to coaching because I didn't feel confident in coaching them. And like, I had all these things going on in my head, which was keeping me from doing it. But guys, we got to invite to coaching if we want to build businesses, period. That's just the way it goes. And I had to reflect on that really recently, actually in this last year, because a lot of my coaches to start 2018 came out of 80-day obsession. Like, they started coaching with me right out into 80-day obsession, but they didn't last. A lot of them didn't last. So I was kind of, again, like rebuilding my team like mid-year. And I was just like, Mackenzie, like, you have to invite to coaching. It's not just like, hey, I think I finally want to coach. That can't be where we rely on our team to come from. We have to go out and actually ask people. And the sooner you drop the question, the better. So it's like, demystify it. There's no like, okay, like, I'm going to ask this girl to be on my team today. And like, it's got to go perfect. I got to say the exact thing, so she'll say yes. Because she probably, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but it's very rare that the first time I ask someone about joining my team, they're like, yes, sign me up, I'm in. I don't have any fears. This is everything I've ever dreamed of. Like, I'm not even scared of anything. Like, that's very rare that happens. So the sooner you can drop the hint and start talking about it and peeling back the onion of them, the better. Because say someone signs up with you tomorrow and they start Transform 20. So you could be like, hey, I don't know if you've thought about this. I know this might sound random, but I was just wondering if you wanted to like earn money back while you get in shape through this process. Okay. No, not really. That's just not something I'm interested in right now. I want to just, focus on myself. Great. 2 weeks go by. You're helping them see killer results. Huge part of the process. You have to help your people see results. You have to help them fall in love with the products. I don't want coaches that kind of love Beachbody. I want coaches that are obsessed with our products, obsessed with our programs, believe in it to their core, and want to pay that forward every day. So I have to help them have that kind of belief. So in those first 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever, they're in my challenge group, they're seeing results. I'm going to go back to them and I'm going to be like, girl, you are crushing it. Like, I cannot believe the results you're seeing. I'm so inspired. Like, this is insane. Are you sure you don't want to consider at least hearing more about coaching? Because I really think you would crush it. Like, your story is so inspiring. I'm so excited over like everything that you've achieved just in 2 weeks. Like, okay. So that is the next level of just, hey, do you want to learn more? Not, do you want to join my team? Because that in itself that would be intimidating to me, right? But we're just seeing if they want to learn more. No, I don't think so. I'm good. You continue to post about coaching and how much it's awesome. You continue to show them on your social media how your life is changing. You continue to believe in them. And another 1 to 2 weeks go by. Hey girl, I'm having this sneak peek. And, I just thought I could add you in it. I know you're kind of worried about just even hearing information, but I thought if I just put you in this sneak peek, you could just check it out on your own time and there's no strings attached. Or this is my favorite method and the one I highly recommend. Hey girl, listen, I'm coming back to you because I really believe in you. Like, I really see you loving this. And I feel like it's only fair to you that we get on the phone and you actually hear me out, because I had so many misconceptions and assumptions that were totally wrong. I was freaked out for the longest time. And then when I finally just heard someone out about what this was really about, I was totally down. So I just felt like maybe I could get on the phone with you. You could hear me out. You could ask me questions openly. And then you have all the information you need to make the best decision for yourself. So I'm not saying like, get on the phone with me so I can convince you to join my team. I'm saying like, get on the phone with me so you can hear me out and decide if this is something that you really want to do. Because I want them to want to do it for themselves. But guys, we got to break down the barriers. And when I started getting on the phone with people, it was a game changer. Now, it might take a little bit more time, but it's so much more trustworthy, like there's so much more trust built. They're really comfortable to just be like, hey, this is actually what I'm freaking out about. Okay. So when I get on the phone with them, I'm just like, all right, seriously, thank you so much for doing this with me. I'm like really excited that you wanted to jump on here with me. I really appreciate it. I'm going to tell you that. And so I start with the question of, well, what has interested you to just get on the phone with me? Because if they get on the phone with you, there is something there. There's something there, or they would have blown you off. So I start with that positive of like, so what inside you like really told you to get on the phone and at least hear me out? Like, what is interesting you a little bit about coaching? And they're going to tell me kind of what they're liking and what they're seeing. And then I'm going to say like, I'm going to relate or something. And then I'm going to go, okay, what's freaking you out? Like, what are you worried about? Just tell me, like, what are you doubting? What are you scared of? And, I say that because I'm like, listen, if you weren't afraid of anything, you would have already been on my team, or you would have told me no. So what is like stirring in you that's creating all of this doubt? And 9 times out of 10, guys, it's probably something that you faced yourself and you're going to know how to help them through. Maybe it's fear of posting on social media. Maybe it's, fear of having time, or fear of the upfront cost, which is like mind blowing because it's nothing. Basically, they're just investing in themselves. So I always try to help them like understand, like, listen, I'm not here to twist your arm, because at the end of the day, like, we got to remember, actually, we're interviewing them to join our team. They're not interviewing me. I'm interviewing them. I want to know why they are going to be a great coach on my team, right? Like, I want to hear what's awesome about them and why they want to be a coach, not why I think they should be a coach. But we got to help them break down their fears, because a lot of people do have fears about this, right? A lot of people are just freaked out about the whole thing because network marketing is new still. It's honestly so new still. So getting on the phone has been a huge game changer. And when I'm on the phone with them from there, I'm like, all right, listen, I know you're probably freaking out about where to start. And, this is actually after we've talked about fears, we've talked about positives. And so I'm like, okay, well, let me just give you an idea. So, you'll feel a little bit more comfortable if you want to move forward. When we get off the phone, I'm not going to send you a 5,000 page document on how to become a coach. I'm not going to expect you to post on social media tomorrow. I'm not going to, teach you how to be a salesman and all of these crazy things that people are worried about. We're going to schedule another call, and I'm going to show you how to immediately see a return and immediately bring someone into this with you. I'm going to say, you don't need to know how to do everything. That's why you have a coach. That's why you have a team. You do need to be coachable, want to learn, and be resourceful. So I'm still setting an expectation, but I'm not expecting them to become an expert tomorrow, because nobody is. But by doing that and kind of laying it out for them and laying the groundwork, they're like a lot more comfortable with saying, okay, let's do this. I want to do it. And so that has been a huge game changer. Honestly, I've said that a gajillion times because it's right here on my notes. But really, guys, like, just comforting them, like helping them take the steps and believing in them, with them, that people are coming on this journey with them, that they don't need to know how to be this health and wellness professional right away, right? They're just bringing people with them to stay accountable with them. And we're going to figure it out layer by layer. That's what I tell them. As you go, as your confidence builds, I will add layers of the business and skills that you need to know to continue to get to the levels that you want to go based on the goals that you've set. So bringing on a new coach, and I can share, Meg, I'll share like a PowerPoint that I have that breaks all of this down even more in depthly, documents that I use, the process that I use, everything. But the main thing is like, and I heard this on your virtual upline podcast too, because I really wanted to like figure out network marketing and how to be a good mentor in network marketing. So that was one of the specific things that I needed to work on. So I sought that out. And this was just crazy how he was like, why would we, because I don't know if you guys are like me, but like when a new coach comes on, you're like, okay, like here's your power hour, and post on social media today, send 5 invites and create 5 new connections. Here's our team page. It's really awesome. Everyone's so, supportive. It's a great community. I'm so excited for you. What? Like, I mean, just hearing all of that, in one thing is crazy. And that's really how I used to bring on new coaches. I would like send them a new email and then put them in maybe a new coach workshop, and all of that would be hit them in like a week, or do like an email series and all of that hit them in like a week or something. But it was a lot. And our team pages are great. But if you're a brand new coach and you don't even know which way is up, and you get in there and your Facebook starts dinging, 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 and all these terms start flying out everywhere and you have no idea what they mean, that's not going to build a lot of confidence. So I'll kind of tell you guys that in a second. But basically, I focus on production from the start. This is a relationship business. And how many of you signed up your mom or your friend or your sister-in-law? How many of you stuck in the circle that you already knew from the start? Like that was your first customer. It was like my mom and my best friend. That's how I got to Emerald. So this is a relationship business. So at the beginning, focus on the relationships you already have. That is how we help them help their first person. I don't say, oh, you're going to get Success Club points. I don't say anything like that. I don't bring any Beachbody terms into the process. I just start by saying, let's make a list. When you've made a list, send it to me and show it to me. And when they've made a list of like, I think it's in my document, it's like 20 to 50 people or something, of just people they know. And I tell them on the call, I'm like, listen, you're not doing anything with this list. You're just making the list. You're not thinking about the names on the list. Like, oh, would they want to join me? Are they going to judge me? You're just writing down names of people that you know. And I think we often forget, like, that's a win. Like, that's a big deal that they made a list. And that's a huge part of our business. So just like that in itself, like celebrating that in itself as a step is building confidence, and it's not bringing too much overwhelm. Then the next step is showing them how to send an invite from that list. And when I see like, okay, if she just sent me a list and she's ready to schedule our next meeting, like in 24 hours later, I'm like, okay, this girl's ready to rock and roll. If she doesn't send me a list for 2 weeks, okay, like I'm probably not going to think that this girl wants to, come into this business and start rocking and rolling. So it's also going to give you an idea of like where they stand, because nothing's worse than like sticking someone in a group and being like, oh, I wonder if they're doing that. I wonder if they are doing that. Or I wonder if they're, and just like sitting there, like wondering like what's going on with my coach. Just be in one-on-one contact, I feel like, for that first month. And I heard another coach use this example. Like, imagine if you were running this awesome Starbucks and it was super successful, and the CEO of Starbucks was like, hey, go over to South Carolina and help Sarah open a Starbucks. I'm like, okay. So I go to South Carolina, I help Sarah open a Starbucks. We, get everything in place. We are ready to open. The first thing we focus on is a sale. The first thing we focus on is earning our money back, right? That's the first order of business, because we're in a business. So I help Sarah see a return in her first day of business. And I don't leave Sarah. I don't leave that Starbucks until that Starbucks is ready to just crush it. Like, it knows the ins and outs. It feels confident. It has the layers that it needs. And sometimes that takes a week. Sometimes that takes a month. But I would rather know that my coach is going to confidently be able to lead their business for the rest of their business than spend a couple years back and forth. Like, are they with it? Are they not? You guys see what I'm saying? And then after like that first invite, we don't do anything else until they sign their first person up. Like, that is the main goal. Like, getting someone on board, either as a customer or as a discount coach. Next, we focus on social media. So once they've signed that person up, they're like, oh, actually, maybe I can do this. And that confidence starts to build. Because I don't know about y'all, but most of the time, the biggest fear my new coaches have is showing up on social media, is posting on social media. What are people going to think of me? What am I going to say? But once they've signed someone up, they're confident. Like, they're a little bit more confident. They've realized, I just helped someone. Like, I just made money in this thing. Okay, yeah, I think I will post. I'm excited to share. I'm excited to talk about it. And then once they've posted on social media, I add them to the team page. And really and that's because I've seen that they've gone public. They're taking it serious enough to be public on their social media. So I add them to the pages. And in the pages, that's where like resources just, kind of grow. Like, there's more social media resources, more conversation resources, more Success Club resources. And then from there, we start to set goals of Success Club and Emerald. But really, when I implemented this, I had 3 success starters right away. So it really just like them knowing how to create that return fast builds a lot of confidence. It shows them a paycheck, which is awesome because we want to help. We're in a business. They came to you for mentorship in a business. And I think we forget this sometimes because we're like, oh, I want to like love you. And there's like rainbows and butterflies. This is fun. And I care about you, which is, I mean, I care about all my coaches. I love all my coaches. But at the same time, like if we tiptoe around leading them, how are we really serving them? Like we have to just be like, this is next. Okay. So you did this. This is next. Okay. This is next. Don't be freaked out about this. This is how we're going to do this. Next is Emerald. Next is Success Club. If you want to build a successful business, we're going to get to Diamond. You guys. But I used to be like, like what inspires you to get to Diamond? And they're like, I don't know. Like I came to you to help me get to Diamond. I came to you to help me build a business. Right. So we have to help them set those goals based on what they want in their life. And that's also in my like process of like getting them started is I learn like, what do you want to be making in 3 months from now to help you be excited about this business? And if it's $1,000 and I'm like, yeah, we're getting to Diamond right away. If it's $100, maybe Diamond's not going to be on their radar because that's not really the type of business that they want to build. So if I know their goals, I know how to lead them. And that's just really important. Like, know their life goals so you can help them pair that to a business goal because at first they might not understand how all that works. So take this, like the pressure off yourself and just know what they want and you're going to know how to lead them. So next we're going to do daily actions. So this is kind of just how to bring all of that together. Always make sure you're working from a list. And I'm sorry guys, if it feels like a lot of information, and know who you're talking to. So like know what your goals are at that moment in the month. Like if you're not in Success Club, then you better be inviting. If you are trying to rank advance, you better be talking to people about coaching. So how I like to do it is I start like my end of the month and beginning of the month are like follow-ups and invites. So I don't really like to do like 5 of this, 5 of that, 5 of this, 5 of that. I do like massive bulks because I feel like I'm just in the zone. Like I'm excited about my group. I want to invite to my group. So I do all of my energy in inviting and in following up, like at the beginning of the month to lock in Success Club, no matter what. That way it's not like the 29th and I'm like, oh, I'm not in Success Club. Oh, I got to fight someone. I'm stressed. Because then when we get stressed, like it takes the fun out of it. It takes the authenticity out of it. We start to probably get a little salesy. We get a little quirky because we're trying to reach our goals. So set yourself up for success from the beginning of the month. And trust me, I've been there. Okay. I have signed someone up on the last day of the month. I've signed up 2 people on the last day of the month. It is possible. So if you're not in Success Club right now, girl, you got time, but I'm telling you how to set yourself up for Team Cup. So you're not stressed about hitting Success Club. You want to make those challenge pack sales fun and you want to always have a group date start. That way you can create urgency. Like if my group is going to start on like 18th of February or something, I'm going to be like, hey, my group's going to start on the 18th. We really got to get you set up on this date. So you have everything. They don't say anything. Hey girl, like it's just coming down to the time of my group. Are you still interested? And that way, like they have a reason to make a decision. Otherwise they'll be like, I'll just do it 5 days from now. And you're like, no, I like do it now. So create a timeline for them so they have a reason to make the purchase. Also know your business. So like when I was trying to grow my second CBC to Diamond, I was like discount coaches. And maybe I wasn't always like that before. So I leveraged the test group. We're doing test groups a lot now. And I talk about the fact that you get to be in a group with a trainer. Like it is the greatest thing that's ever happened since sliced bread, because it is like and it's a free thing. Like they get to just do that as they sign up as discount members to know what you need to achieve in your business that week. And guys, I just recently implemented this, having like a team-wide challenge group. And what I realized was when I was bringing in new coaches and they brought on a customer or like a challenger, they didn't feel this like immediate pressure to know how to run a group. Instead, they joined our team's group. And then that kind of took the pressure off of them. And it's been very duplicable. So I really recommend that. Plus the energy is really great. I think there was a team call on that, or I'm sorry, a national wake up call on this back in like November or something. But it was really great and it's been really duplicable. And then guys, do it even when you don't want to. Oh gosh, I know. Do it even when you don't want to, because I cannot tell you how many coaches, challengers came from those conversations that I had when I didn't want to, or were connections that I made when I was tired of searching through Instagram and liking and commenting and liking and commenting and liking and commenting. But that one girl came back to my page and filled out that form and started like, it's crazy, but do it when you don't want to. Like those, like just like we work out when we don't want to, that's the most important time to do your business. But on the other end of that, learn how to shut down. Because the worst thing you could ever think about yourself is your worth is attached to your productivity. Like I did this to myself the other day. I was like, oh my God, like I didn't do that much. And so I felt like I wasn't enough based on that. And there are going to be days where, you know, we do more than we do other days. So try not to attach your worth to your productivity, because you do have to shut down. You can't be plugged in all the time. You can't have your please turn off your notifications on your phone. Please, please, please. It will change your life. Go into your inbox, go into your social media when you are ready, when you feel the energy to do this. Like, don't constantly be a slave to your messages. Treat your business like a business and be a business owner. And this is truly something that I'm still working on. And then lastly, guys, you know, I like in 2018, I really got connected to my creator. I got back into my faith. I believed that there was a higher power, that God was guiding me. And I learned that I cannot do this alone. And I tell you guys this was just really placed on my heart to say that, you know, you're not meant to do it alone. Like we're not meant to go through these hardships and all this adversity and all of this tough stuff alone. That's why we have him. So that was a huge part of truly the reason I believe that I was able to overcome the things that I did. And just what I overcame is just reflected in my business. So yeah, that's all I have. Do you guys have any questions?
Amazing.
Sorry, I was like,
I love your energy. I love your energy, and I love how bold you were with saying things. You know, like I'm like, yes, this is what we need to hear, right? There were so many times that I was like imagining those emoji, you know, praising arms, because so many times we get in our own ways and we look at all these coaches. I love that you said to unfollow other coaches, because we look at other coaches and we think their lives are so amazing. I can't have that life. Why are you looking at other coaches? You know, like that's the quickest way to throw you off your A game, guys. Don't compare yourself to other coaches. So do we have any questions, you guys?
Guys, oh my gosh, thank you so much.
Yes, I saw everyone like praising you, because you really told us what we needed to hear. Let's see. Okay, so Corey said,
yeah, I can send you, I'll actually send you the document of the notes that are from this call if you guys want to just have that. Because honestly, I just brain dumped and then I like put them in categories. But did someone ask about a preset? I wasn't sure if I saw that. Y'all just unmute yourself. Honestly, I will hear you. Thank you guys so much. What's an at-glance document? Is that on my notes? Or
maybe coaching at a glance. Some coaches call it that.
Okay.
Basically, like what you send people about coaching.
Oh, I actually don't have that, which I've been meaning to make one. I'm going to do a small video. But actually Jen Richardson posted something in the Beachbody Champions page that y'all could go reference and use, because it was awesome. It was like a little info sheet, if that's maybe what you're seeking. Thank you guys so much. Seriously. It just really means a lot, because I'm not by any means do I feel like I really know anything else except what I've learned. So if you make it your goal to grow, you will have so much more to give. And I'm just so thankful that you asked me, because it was just such an honor to give to you guys.
Oh, you did amazing. You did amazing.
Etsy. So if you just go on Etsy and you search like, I use like the app Lightroom, and basically how it works is you just search like Lightroom preset, and then all these filters come up, and then you can like download it to your phone, and it's like a picture in the app, and you just copy and paste the filter. So that's basically it. And it walks you through the directions. So you don't have to know it.
All right, I see here's some other people are unmuted. Let me grab that. Okay, any other questions, you guys? And I agree, like getting a preset, like I was like, I'm not good at making pictures look pretty, right? Yeah. Like there was such a stupid thing to say, you guys. It's our business, okay? And $5 to put something on your pictures to make them look pretty and professional, come on, we can all do it.
Yeah, it's worth it. And like natural lighting all the way. I don't have like the big Diva ring light, but I have like a $20 one off of Amazon that just hooks on my thing. Worth it. Lighting is really important. Like social media is part of what we do, like she said. So find a way to have fun with it and not look at it as a chore is honestly my advice, because it can be fun and spark creative juices.
So. Yes. Well, I don't see any questions. I just have people praising you. So if you can get me those documents, I will make sure that I get them into the roundtable for all the different teams that were a part of this. Mackenzie, thank you so much. Thank you for being so open and honest and genuine about your journey and what you had to overcome to get here. And it's I know that 2019 is going to be an amazing year for you and your team, because I see that light and that energy that you're pouring into yourself and your team and your social media, and it's going to pay off majorly. So thank you. Guys, I will put this recording up in the roundtable so your leaders can grab it as well. Just a reminder, there is no training next Tuesday. I will be in Florida with my family, so I took off Tuesday so that I can enjoy, the beautiful Florida weather. And so enjoy your day off. Maybe grab some of your teammates and do a hustle hour. But besides that, we will see you February 12th. All right, bye, guys.